Greg Barnes with Inside Carolina here at Kenan Stadium. Alongside of me, of course, is Ross Martin. The Tar Heels are going to be playing on a partially new field this weekend when Duke comes to town. Instead of redoing the entire field with field turf, they're actually going to be doing in between the hashes. The field's actually held up quite well. That saves a little bit of money, I'm sure. This is a big game, Ross. This is a big, it's a first Coastal Division game. And more than anything, we're in September and we're talking about Duke.
Yeah, it's weird. It's the earliest game that UNC and Duke have ever played against each other. It's a huge one in my opinion. You know, Duke is 3-0 with 2 wins over Power 5 teams. UNC is 1-2, staring down Georgia Tech and Notre Dame, 2 tough teams. And you know, if UNC would to go 1-3, the season looks pretty bleak. You know, it's a 3:30 game. Great chance for fans to come out and support the team. And it's a huge rivalry game, not just for the bell, but building confidence, building on success against ODU, and a really awful success they've had all season, and just improving that defense. So from that standpoint, momentum, confidence, this game is huge for UNC.
Yeah, and I tell you, going to the Pigskin preview back in July, David Cutcliffe said, this is the deepest team that I've had, this is the most talented team, the fastest team. And you don't typically hear coaches make those kind of comments. Duke has looked the part. I mean, they have played very well. I know some people are wondering exactly how good Baylor is maybe, and Baylor's kind of a dumpster fire at this point in time. I think Northwestern's a very good team. Daniel Jones has looked really good. His stats over his last 10 games against Power 5 opponents is really impressive. That defense through 3 games, I mean, they lead the nation in run defense. They're second nationally in third down defense. They're probably not as good as those rankings, but they're still a very good defense. So this is going to be a very big task for North Carolina on the offensive side of the ball when you consider so many young guys at the skill positions and that banged up offensive line.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Daniel Jones torched UNC last year.
Right.
He was running for third downs, and he's obviously improved as a passer and a runner and decision maker. And I've seen his name on some NFL mock drafts, and he could leave after this season. So he's definitely got to worry about in the way Cutcliffe's offense runs. It's definitely a good one here in Chapel Hill.
I agree with that, although I will say people hear the name Duke and think, they're not that good. And to be fair, Duke wasn't that good last year. They were 1-7 in ACC play. I think there's something about this Duke team, though. I think this Duke team is legit.
Yeah.
I don't know that they will challenge for the Coastal title, but I think they'll be competitive. And so I think this is a game that North Carolina could lose, but then still bounce back and maybe win games at Atlanta and some of these other games and be competitive here against Miami. And I don't think 6-2 necessarily is going to win the Coastal. 5-3 sounds pretty good given the quality of teams in this division. So I don't think it's a must-win, but certainly North Carolina would like to win this one to get back to 2-2 because they don't have a whole lot of success in Atlanta.
And get that bell back.
And get the bell back.
A point of contention for a UNC team.
Right. For Inside Carolina, I'm Greg Barnes. This is Ross Martin.